for all of this.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, Ricky, it's one of those things where it's nice to be up here in the booth, but it's so much fun to be out there racing, battling like this.
Oh, yeah, this is a fun race. I tell you what, whoever wins this main event, it's got to be one of the best of their careers, if not the best in these conditions.
It is one of the slowest races I think I have ever seen, but one of the most drama-filled events of all time. Reed listed in the lead for now.
Wow, look at those.
that.
I mean, I think you just hold on, gas it, and go. Feet off the pegs. Man, look at that. Reed is keeping it up.
Flopping through it.
Man, just going wide open, just hoping for the best.
Literally
It is so bad right now.
Jeff,
Dip it down.
Jeff, you describing this start as a jet ski race is a perfect example of what this really is.
Well, and watch Chad Reed here. He comes through, goes off the side of the track when he hits the water hole. And very far. I mean, he actually landed on that tough block, and the bike was stood up on there, so the bike did not tip over.
I don't.
And every little mistake like that Chad has, you know that Kevin Windham is back there somewhere. So you're going to try to limit the mistakes and keep your momentum going forward.
Looks like he's lost his goggles too, guys.
Yeah, he's chunked them.
I think everybody has lost their goggles at this point.
It's really hard to keep them on when it's raining. You know, the rain gets in between your roll-offs, your tear-offs, and it gets in it.
How about the overall weight of your gear getting soaked?
You know, and you slide off the back, you can't hold on, your gloves are wet. I haven't seen a mud race this bad in a long time. I think the worst mud race I ever think I saw was 1991, maybe Sacramento. I mean, it was
Hangtown Motocross, and it was this wet. There was just so much. It's clay up there, and it was just a very wet race. But I'm telling you, I think this is the worst conditions that I've ever seen a motocross bike be ridden in.
It's got to be the hardest because there's so many jumps and obstacles.
Well, with your track design, I'm not saying that it was particularly you, but the track design has just made it go from like lake to lake to lake to lake down the.
I knew that was going to be. I thought that was going to be a problem if it rained.
I'm guessing the two of you are thinking right about now this is a really good time to be retired.
Oh, I tell you what, it's fun if you're out front, like 20 seconds in the lead. But if you're Ryan Dungey or Kevin Windham's position right now, I think myself and Jeff's position is looking pretty good at
Guys,
the moment.
we're only halfway through this, and not only the riders take a pounding out here, but those motorcycles have got to be feeling the wear and tear of this event as well.
Look at Reed. I mean, he's just cruising. It's so, the conditions are so gnarly, the guy can like barely charge it all, you know? Is that Windham there? No. That's a lapper. Yeah, that's a lapper. Nick Way. That was Nick Way there.
Where is Windham?
There's Kevin coming through there. He's got rid of his goggles.
And see what Kevin Windham was doing through that section? He's still doubling. He's on the pegs. Classic Kevin Windham riding style. He's trying to stand up on the bike and balance it. That's really where his advantage is right now.
Very nice to watch ride. I mean, I really like to watch a guy that's got great style.
Well, and we've spent so much time with Kevin Windham this year as he's had so much success. He says he's had a great time racing, and in this situation, pressure's off, but halfway through this race, he still wants to win this thing. He realizes this is a huge opportunity, and whoever wins this is going to go down as just this classic Daytona mud race.
Yeah, at this point, I think, you know, Kevin's lost a little bit of ground. I believe that he's just going to bide his time and maybe hope for a mistake. But look at Millsaps there coming up through. He's now in the third position.
Well, it has been both of the Honda riders, Windham and Millsaps, that have really pressured Chad Reed. And it is so difficult out there.
And those riders, a big part of Honda's resurgence in Supercross this year, as Millsaps took the win in Atlanta, and it was just a week before that, the Windham won in Houston.
Hey, Ricky, tell me, I've never ridden for Team Honda. You did. Coming into this event, Honda being the title sponsor.
Kevin Windham's pulling in for goggles.
Going for goggles.
Oh, man. I don't know about that call, Jeff.
It is definitely questionable. I would agree with you, Ricky. But evidently something has happened. He said, okay, look, I think I can make up some time if I can see. So we'll see just how long those goggles last. We'll keep a real eye on it.
He was about 13 seconds behind Reed, and he had about an 8-second gap between him and Millsap.
And that was at the stripe just before he pulled into the mechanics area.
There's Millsap's there.
So what I was saying, Ricky, is how important is it?
Oh, down goes Davey Millsap.
Look at that deep hole. You just go there and you don't even know.
And here comes Windham.
The new goggles paying off for him.
And Ricky, what I keep trying to tell you is these guys are trying to make the pass for one of these riders to win the event was sponsored by Honda.
Got it.
It's huge.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, obviously it is. You know, it's a Honda-sponsored event. It is the Daytona Honda Supercross. But it's big for every manufacturer. It really is. I mean, this is the crown jewel of the series. If you can't win the title, you have got to try to win Daytona Supercross.
Yeah, but any pressure specifically on the Red Riders here?
Possibly so.
Well, the lap times are up to 2 minutes.
Wow.
30 seconds faster than the heats. Longer.
Windham just plowing through it.
I mean, I cannot. Would you like to go out and ride a couple laps, Jeff?
Hey, if somebody was going to watch the bike.
Now, when would we have known if the AMA is going to have a thought on Chad Reed going off course like that? Because it could be Kevin Windham who just retook the lead from Davey Millsap. There is Chad Reed. And we know Chad Reed is committed to racing here tonight, as are all the riders who lined up in the gate. But how about the greatest fans in the world, these Supercross fans, sticking it out here in the downpour at Daytona. A great crowd on hand, taking in the Daytona Supercross by Honda. Chad Reed continues to lead here at the Daytona Supercross by Honda. Working our way past the halfway point.
And has really been the Iron Man here tonight. He has put on an awesome ride. He's crashed, he's had problems, and he keeps going, keeps moving forward. Just an incredible ride with only 4 to go now.
Well, that's why he's been a Supercross champion before. He's a fighter. I got to give it to the guy, man. He never lays down, and look, he stalled it and fell down. Look at that.
Look at his face in there, Ricky.
I mean, that is just grit and
so much focus in an environment where it is so hard to focus. And you see the extra thing on his visor right here, that's actually lengthened out so that he can duck his head when he's getting roost from another rider and still see forward. So just a slight tip of the helmet will stop all of the mud and water from coming into your eyes.
You know, another thing too, he don't have hand guards. So his hands are getting extra wet.
Yeah, but on a night like tonight, it just gets washed off. Watch right through this section right here. It's extremely deep. Right?
Oh, man. We've seen so many people crash there.
Well, look who might be joining you here, Ricky. And Chad Reed can hang on and win here tonight.
Hey, he's much well deserved it. There's no doubt about it, especially in this condition. I mean, this got to, if he wins tonight, this has got to be one of the best Supercross wins of his career.
And he's chasing his second Supercross championship this year, leading the points, and this would be huge for him tonight if he could win and get those extra points over Kevin Windham.
Absolutely. Cushion that points lead a little bit more and get into some dry dirt next weekend.
Now, we have heard from the AMA that there will not be, at this point, there's been no decision made on Chad Reed.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're talking about the incident when he fell down and then he got back up
and kind of
downside.
Look at that bike. What I think in this situation, you just try to pick the bike up. I don't know if that's Travis Preston or who.
Have you ever seen Cadillac Ranch in Texas?
Yeah,
it was like Cowie Ranch.
Yeah, I would say this is is that a green bike? It's not brown.
Somewhere in there, there's some green.
Well, I'm colorblind, so
that might be Jeff Gibson. I think
gonna let it
this
stay
guy, he needs to go back.